Now we're going to get into the fun stuff of the actual main roles that he's played that I have lots to say about. So, right off the bat, I have a character that I've listed as the least favorite, but in a way, I can't even technically list him as the least favorite. It's more like I can't list him at all. Because, trying to separate the character from the show, I can kind of list him as least favorite because I am mad at the character himself, but most of it has to do with the show. So the way that this list of characters from least favorite to favorite ended up being, most of them are tied. There's very few of them. There's only like 2 of them that aren't tied with somebody else. And again, I say, depending on my mood and depending what I actually remember about the characters and all this stuff, this list is halfway's accurate, halfway's not, but I have no idea how else to like shuffle it around. I would literally have to like basically watch all these shows all over again to remind myself of stuff. But so there ended up being 6 categories. Or I mean 6 numbers because so many of them are tied. In number 6 is Cheng Yi from Blue Whisper. His power is epic, and he's otherwise pretty adorable. But for the love of sanity, being tied up by fate like that. So, Blue Whisper is one of the ones that he filmed in 2022. Blue Whisper is about sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Ji-yoon-he, I think is how you'd say it. I can't remember. Jiyunhe is a powerful and talented spiritual master living in Flower Valley. She loathes the deep, dark secret that restricts her from exploring the world at her leisure. Cheng Yi is a merman who appears in the valley, courtesy of the cruel princess Shinde. Shinde wants Flower Valley to tame him. And so there's 2 people that are trying to tame him. The guy who is like the heir of the valley, and his father wants him to be the one that does it because he's supposed to be, etc. And Ji-yoon is also on board taming him because she wants to escape the Flower Valley, and she believes that if she tames him, then she can get the reward from Shinde, which would free her from the valley. So they're supposed to be taming him. And along the way of the story, supposedly, they fall in love. But I'm going to read you something. I wasn't originally going to do it, but I have to do it because every time I talk about this drama, I literally got so vibratingly angry, and I'm like, this doesn't actually happen very often where I get to the point where I am vibrating. I am so angry. I was in such a bad mood that it was affecting everything. I was so mad at this drama. I barely made it through 1 season. I had to start skipping a whole bunch of stuff in order to even make it through that. And then I like kind of really quickly skipped through a couple of episodes of the 2nd season, and I cannot do it. I cannot watch the 2nd season of this because I was so angry. And the angry toward Cheng Yi, he's contradictory. His character is contradictory. The show made him contradictory. He's loyal and all that, yes. And like I say, by the way, merman. Cheng Yi is a merman. So he's one of 3? 2. He's one of only 2 characters that Jialun has played that is not human at all. There's one other character that's complicated, but we'll get there. So there's only 2 characters that he's played that is not human. This is the other one. One of them was Lue, the 6-tailed fox, and this one is Cheng Yi, the merman. And he was seriously cool, but he's contradictory. He's loyal and all that, yes, but within what was set up about the mermen, like the characters themselves read in the book what mermen are like, lies are the unforgivable sin. But Cheng Yi skims right over that. And he's willing to completely forgive her and reconcile her as long as she explains herself. Like, he seems to believe that the lie was over here when actually the lie is over here, and he believes this is the only lie, so if she'd just explain it, he's perfectly fine with her. And I'm like, you are so contradicting what you set this person up to be like. Like, stop it. He claims he just wants to torture her because, unforgivable lie, so she deserves to be tortured, and he's going to step back because he doesn't care about her, so he's going to torture her. when in actuality it's himself he's torturing, because really he still loves her so much that he just wants to be with her. And if she would explain, and if only she would admit that it's a lie, that she doesn't love him, then we can be together and it can be happy. And I'm like, you are completely contradicting everything, and this is so stupid. And she, by the way, doesn't love you. Stop it. So, by the way, this is my least favorite couple, because it is not love. And the only way I can explain this in a calm, collected way without vibrating, I'm going to go into major spoilers here and explain myself. My best friend is like used to me like vibrating and like going off on rants, and I'm like, okay, no, this is a really important topic. It's not just me vibratingly angry and going off on a rant. I have a legitimate actual reason for this, and I'm going to read it to you. So this is major spoilers. Someone that has been tortured, abused, and used her entire life, which is 100 years long, told the whole time that she has no value at all in herself. Her only purpose is to sharpen the sword, i.e. help train the next master of the valley. I'm talking about the main girl here. Her only dream in life is to be free. She can't trust anyone, and therefore has only ever called two people friend, one of which is the young master almost 100 years ago. A trainer that tames the heart, even the truth is mixed in there. It's wrapped up in so many lies you can't untangle the two. Then she meets the merman, i.e. her ticket to freedom, if she can win the competition of who can train him faster. Commence with lie after lie after lie. I just want to be friends, mixed up with guilt trip, manipulation, and innocent self-pity. How could you do this to me after all I've done for you? She healed his wounds and gave him food and brought him gifts, and he's rejecting her because he's hearing things that are like, how can I trust you? Like, can I trust you? Like, what's your motivations? All while the merman is completely vulnerable and completely helpless, and the only other people around him are torturing him. The other guy is literally flat out torturing him. He is a merman who's supposed to be in the water, and he's completely cut off from the water, held in a prison. He is so vulnerable and so helpless, and she's doing this to him. She literally finds all of his weak points, everything the books write about mermen being loyal, avid promise keepers, committed to returning the kindness/favors, like when someone risks their life to save yours, and she exploits every single one of these because she has to make him trust her 100% in order to convince him to give up everything for her. That's how it all starts. All of that I understand. And I saw her hesitating, especially when she realized what cutting off his tail actually meant. And I was like, this could go good places. Come on, girl. Admit what you did was wrong. Stop the training time. But she didn't. She had multiple chances to stop or pull back, even if she didn't full-on reveal the whole truth or lie. But instead, she brought it to the point where telling him the truth could result in multiple people, including him, dying, all because she up and decided that the lie has turned into the truth. She loves him and can't stand the thought of him never talking to her again, because to merman, lying is right at the top of the ultimate sins that won't be forgiven, supposedly. And that is what matters to her the most. Her own desire and heartache. The only time she actually did something 100% for him was when she endured the killing frost. Just hang on, don't cut your tail off, just wait. But the merman couldn't stand it once he saw her seconds away from dying. She didn't think the young master would go that far, and he cuts his tail off for her. She supposedly loves him now. From this point on, I will never lie to you. She skillfully avoids the fact that she has been bare naked lying over and over and over again up to this point. It doesn't count anymore, you know. And by the way, she doesn't even keep this promise. From this point on, she continues to lie, even if it's just in the form of keeping vital information from him. She treats him like an absolute child, which is coupled with insulting him to the nth degree. She decides on her own that it's her right to make every decision for him without ever asking his opinion. Okay, once he discovers the truth on his own, she lets him join, but even then, it's only under her condition/her control. Can't you tell she loves him? A blame shifter. I already can't stand selfish people. Her arrogance was irritating but understandable/tolerable, but then she skyrocketed through the roof, the way she treated the bloody king of the heavens. Oh, dear child, you came to me for wisdom, which is 90% from someone else, but who's counting credit? Oh, poor baby, let me help you. This is the flippin' king of the heavens, and she's talking to him like this. Treating him like a child. Oh dear, poor child. I am so wise. I have so much wisdom. Let me help you. All bad enough, but then on top of this, I haven't seen someone so good at shifting blame at a constant rate in a long time. Stupid merman, how come you can't tell I'm lying to you? It's not her fault for lying to him. It's his for not recognizing it's a lie. Stupid merman, I gave you a way out. Now you've come back and I have to be extra cruel to you. How could you do this to me? It's not her fault for handling that whole situation like the selfish jackass she is. It's his fault for wanting the same thing she wants. He wants her alive and safe. And believe me, after the countless times she could have halted the train, or at least slowed it down, she literally ran it right down an icy hill on skates and then calls him stupid for being so devastated that denial punches him in the guts when she tells him the truth. I mean half-truth, my word! And she has to literally stab him and throw him off a cliff to make him go away. Yep, it's all his fault that she had to go this far. She's still the victim because if only he just listened to me. Oh, I didn't want to be this cruel. It's all his fault I have to be this cruel, you stupid merman. She even shifts blame when it comes to the tail. It's the young master that made him break it. She apologizes to the merman because I'm the one that made him like that. Oh, it's all my fault he did it. No, girl, no. That is not what you should be apologizing for right now. You made this happen. You lied through your teeth. You knew the merman is so sincere. He gave you his pearl. You made this happen. Of course, I'm not forgiving the young master for what he did, but this is the job he was given to do. He, like you, were supposed to break the merman's tail. This is not personal for him. He's doing this as his job. The safety of the entire valley rests on him accomplishing this task. You, girl, are the one that made the merman love you. You, hence, it doesn't matter what the young master played a dirty trick. You lied and continued to lie after you supposedly loved the merman, which is exactly why he broke his tail. You supposedly love him. You told him you wouldn't lie to him anymore. You told him all that. It was not you betraying the young master because you were forced to when you were kids, hence him turning into cruel and putting you guys in this situation. You broke the merman's tail. You did it. And I'm pretty sure there was one or two other blame-shifting moments, but I forget what they were. Proceed with her now being tortured by the new set of people because she gave herself up to protect the merman, supposedly. Yep, it's all a self-sacrifice. No, it isn't, girl. No, it isn't. You're dying anyway. Pointlessly committing suicide doesn't count as being for him. But the whole time it's happening, she's pining away because she doesn't know if her lover is safe. And oh, she would do absolutely anything for him except tell him the bloody truth. Because she loves him so much, the worst torture is being kept away from him. She doesn't care what else happens. Oh, my love, what can I do? Will he forgive me? I must get out of here and explain to him. That's all that matters. And it's the explaining that actually I do really love you. It was a lie that I don't, which is not the truth at all because no, she doesn't love him. Where was I? That's all that matters is to get out and explain. Not to tell the truth. No, she must explain that the cliff was all a misunderstanding because the truth is that she loves him. And that was all she could do because she loves him. He must know this because she loves him. Cue everyone else in the show supporting her. Not just her butterfly friend who knows for a fact that everything was an absolute lie at the start. But does that matter now? Of course not, because now it's real. So it doesn't matter how fake it was before and how much... I'm speechless at what she did to him before, but it doesn't matter because she loves him now. That didn't happen. No, it doesn't matter. So the beginning now never happened. No need to ever bring it up. No need to discuss it, let alone atone for it. Let alone letting him decide whether he wants to forgive and reconcile with her. Literally everything is up to her, not him, as always. Absolutely no need to ever admit it happened, let alone apologize for it. No, that's ridiculous. She loves him now, so of course absolutely nothing else matters. It's all her deciding and controlling everything. She loves him, so she gets the final say. Wait, what? He gave up everything for her. He broke his silence, he gave her his pearl, and he broke his tail, which means he can never return home to his family, and he lost a ton of his power. She even stole his first kiss. In the name of, oh, can't do anything else, we're about to get killed. Yeah, well, that was a misjudgment on your part, too. She literally put them into this situation. He is absolutely shocked, and she says sorry, but that wasn't even a real sorry that she was saying. It was justified, you know. It was my first kiss too anyway, so you know. No, that's not the same thing, girl. You made the choice. You decided to give him your first kiss. You violated him. You didn't ask ahead of time. You took that away from him. You literally violated him. It is not the same thing. Just, oh, well, you know, it was my kiss, my first kiss too. Well, you know, the situation, like, you know. But what's the attitude of everyone and everyone around him? Defense of her. Look at everything that she's done for him. What did he do for her? We won't talk about that. If anything, it's an obvious given that he was supposed to do that. Of course he should do that. So shush, it clearly doesn't count. And if it does at all, it's a count against him because he's so stupid and whatnot that he fell for it. It's all about her and what she's doing for him, which is literally nothing, by the way. And what's the proof of that? Listen to her. Every word out of her mouth is 100% centered on herself and her own woes. Literally every line she says, even when he shows up, it's all a self-pity, a self-centered, self-based sentence. All of it. All the first things she says to him. All of it. Nothing is about him. She knows that the fairy locked the ocean and killed his father, but does she ask if he's okay? Does she tell him it's heartbreaking and she's so sorry for what happened to his father, to his home? Does she ask how he survived being thrown off the cliff? What he's been through since then? Anything at all? No. Nothing. Nothing at all is about him. Every word is about herself. I have been suffering. I have been in so much pain. I just want to be free. I just want to for once be in control of my life. She literally owes him his freedom because she's the one that took it away. That is not for him. It's something that she should be done regardless. Like, she doesn't love him. She loves herself. There is possible potential there, but the percentage is down at about 1 at best. I don't care how much the show tries to push it in my face that she's doing all this for him. She's doing absolutely nothing for him. My life is my life. It doesn't belong to anyone else. Only I get to say what happens to me. Everything she's doing is for herself. You always think of others. How come you can't think of yourself for once? Cries the butterfly friend. My word. We'll get to the butterfly in a minute. She does not love the merman. And this is why I want to throw her off a cliff with the sharp rocks at the bottom. Not just because she herself won't admit the truth, which is bad enough but can potentially be corrected, but because everyone else around her either doesn't know the truth or won't admit the truth either. Everyone is excusing her selfish behavior. The butterfly literally, the cliff was a misunderstanding. She's not like that. She would never do that. Oh, yes, she is, butterfly. Oh, yes, she is. I don't care if there was a misunderstanding there. It's her fault. They reached that point. 100% unshakably her fault. The very last step in the journey there being that she was too much of a coward to even stay there in the cabin and tell him the truth herself out of her own mouth. No, leave that up to someone else while I go back to like a martyr since I'm dying anyway, and then be all shocked and angry at the guy that was supposed to tell him the truth for betraying her by letting him know what's going on so that he can come and save her instead. Where was that? She supposedly can read the heart. That's supposed to be, she can train the heart because supposedly she can read the heart. But she can't tell that the young master loves her. And has been suffering through his own kind of torture for the past 100 years to try and protect her. More blame shifting. Supposedly she's a trainer of the heart. Supposedly she knows the heart so well, and yet she doesn't have a clue what the young master is going through. Very talented, very skillful. She does not love the merman. Then we have the butterfly. She's pretty much as bad as her master. Arrogance through the roof. Arrogance just as high. Ignorance just as high. Supposedly so smart. And she's read so many books, and yet she never changes. She's arrogant, constantly calling everyone else stupid. The cat, the merman, all of them. They're just stupid. No, butterfly, it's you that's beyond stupid. And ignorant. I'm sure they'd call this innocent, no clue what kissing actually is, never mind the rest of decency, etc. is, even though I'm sure she'd get it if someone tried to undress her. Like I said, bad enough, but then we reach the scene where her arrogance is on full display. That wine was his, but stealing is fine, you know. He's the one in the wrong for having a reason to stop her. And then she literally violates a man, and the whole thing is set up as a hilarious joke coupled with romance that leads to these two getting married in the end, and I am so thoroughly disgusted. I'm sure my body temperature was heating up the entire house. If that was a man doing that to a woman, he wouldn't even make it to jail. He'd be eviscerated, drawn and quartered, and tarred and feathered, and cut up into pieces that are crushed into ashes. But since it's a woman doing it to a man, it's hilarious. There's more that was irking me or making me roll my eyes or whatever that contributed to dropping the show. The whole way it ends is just, our story is like a fairy tale. What? You mean like the original Brother Grimm ones? My word! But this girl, as if the character spotlighting wasn't bad enough, he is the one that controls the water, so why was it her that found what they needed in the water? As if the insulting way she treats him wasn't bad enough, like a naive child that is too stupid to understand, so let's just keep him ignorant and protect him, because we're the adults and we know best. Smother him with a pillow, woman! Look at what he does the second he gets away from you. Epicness on top of epicness. My word, he is so strong, even without a ton of his power. Not just physically, but mentally. And he's an epic leader and strategist, and like, I need to stop writing in all caps. Compare what he does to what you do. The best you can do to the girl, in the end, is kill yourself. Oh, I mean, sacrifice yourself to save everyone. Bravo, you self-centered every name in the book I can't say out loud. I can't with her. Just writing this, I'm starting to vibrate again. And as if she isn't bad enough, it's the whole show is doing, painting her like an innocent victim that just wants freedom. Oh, my life is so hard. Seems I'm destined to always be a prisoner. And if she can't get it herself after all, that's okay, as long as the merman gets it because she loves him. But that's not what's going on. She does not love him. It's the tiniest things that can be fixed. Just bloody admit to everything you did wrong. All you need to do is repent. Just admit genuinely and wholeheartedly and admit to everything you did wrong. Apologize in sincerity and leave yourself and your freaking ego out of it. Give it to the merman. Let him have a say in this. Care about him and his real desires. Stop controlling him. Stop. This is not love. But as far as I had seen, that doesn't happen. She's continued to be held up as a selfless heroine. The whole crowd of people brought back, it doesn't matter if you told us lies. What counts is that you really are kind-hearted. What? I mean literally what? I cannot accept shows skimming over and sweeping things like this under the rug. This story is pretty much the same as Wolf Prince. These two do not end up together because it's fairy tale romance filled with growth and maturity and true love from the ashes and realizing what you've done is wrong and changing in epic ways. No, that's not what it's about. It's a fated mermen like wolves can only be with one mate for their whole life. So it doesn't matter what she does or doesn't do. They will definitely be together. In this case, someday, considering her suicide that makes him wait for hundreds of thousands of years before they can actually be together. Whoop. Yeah, I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'll stop there. This is not love. He should have ended up with the fox lady. Now that was a cute couple. Friendship. Wow, what she was doing for him. And she didn't put it out in the spotlight. She hid it all because she was doing it for him. She wasn't trying to do it for attention. She wasn't trying to do it so that she could get with him. She was doing this because she believed this is what's right. And he needed it done. And she was doing it for him. That is someone doing something for someone else selflessly. What this girl, what the main character does, is not in any way, shape, or form for Cheng Yi. It's entirely 100% for herself. This is not a romance. It is not cute. It is not sweet. It is absolutely disgusting. And I wasn't going to go through all of that because that should be a separate video all on its own that's just purely about Blue Whisper. But at the same time, this is why I can't really say anything more about Cheng Yi. It's mainly the show that I'm absolutely furious at, but I'm also mad at Cheng Yi because on one hand, Jialun did a really good job playing him. I mean, Cheng Yi is seriously cute at the beginning. I love the way he's sitting there looking at his feet when he's never seen himself with feet before and he's sitting there looking at his feet. It was adorable that he was doing that. And there's several other places where he's like adorable. And cute and whatever, and the first several episodes I liked them just fine. But once it got to the point where supposedly now she loves him, so supposedly all the rest doesn't matter and it's perfectly fine if she just sweeps it away and never talks about it. No. From there on, no. Mm-mm. And maybe I will cut that out and put it in a separate video. I don't know, because this is supposed to be about Jialun's characters, and instead I wound off on a whole huge tangent of that show and how much I hated it and why. So, moving on from there to shows that I can actually enjoy and characters that I can fully, completely enjoy.